just got now is a black screen at the moment, but you expect that. It is Saturday, not a Sunday, and we are about to go for a little bit of a drive. Hang on. Well, we'll be going for a drive once I find my view my channel. There we are. There we are. And we are live. My little scanny picture is up there. Yep, it's hooked up the game, and we are ready to start. Okay. If you recall yesterday, if you watched my stream yesterday, you'll remember I said I will be starting in Iceland. And indeed, we are. We're in Penny's profile. So click on continue career. And this will bring us out now to a port just around a little harbour area just to the side of the ferry port in Seyðisfjörður. Our plan is to go to Finland and do a job from Finland to Sweden, Sweden to Norway, Norway back to Iceland. We may have to go to the Faroe Islands. But the thing is, I want to try and do this stream today to cabotage rules. Now, what is cabotage? Not sabotage, but cabotage. It is the, if my definition memory serves me correctly, it is a vehicle working in a country doing domestic work within that country that is not domiciled in that country. Example, a French truck and driver come over from Calais to Dover. Absolute Trump, yeah, I'm doing great. And what they do domestic work within the United Kingdom, even though they're French. That's cabotage. Oh, my Mark III sleepers, second hand. 4 of them have arrived. So I've got some more coaches on order as well. So I'm going to have 2 possible sleeper trains. Yay! I've got Bergen sat on my bed, curled up like a little bit of a loaf. Tommy's downstairs. We've got fireworks going off, so if you hear a loud bang on my stream, it's a firework. Oh dear. So we just got to let this game load up. We'll wait for that to go through. Still showing that where we. It takes a long time to load this, does. Now on 1.57 when it comes, I think they're going to be updating the DLC. You got dogs again last night. Oh fucking hellfire! Let me guess, someone tried to send you a pizza. That's not on that. It's that fucking idiot who was causing trouble with you last in your last bloody college. what a fucking twat. Yay, we now loaded. Okay. So we are in. Here we are. This is what we're in. And I never will understand why people want to do such silly things. Because nah, I can't do a 180 here. Yeah, never put your details public. Right, I need to. What? The actual. Oh, right, okay. Still a fucking cunt. Right, let's see what we got. Let's take a job to. First one is to Kotka in Finland. Now, it's taken us on the ferry all the way across there, but I believe we can do this by going via Helsinki. I ain't gonna fit in that. Right, we loaded. got coming from Rails of Sheffield a Mark II brake sack Nova. Which I'm going to be putting with my second lot of sleeper cars when they arrive. Sleeper cars, because the ones I've got, my new Intercity ones, they are from the old Dapol tooling, so the colour is a little bit off. Rather than like a beige colour, it's like a dirty snow colour. And you haven't got the chrome window surrounds. But I plan to get that corrected at some stage. Right, so we'll go to I've got 85 hours to go, so I can go via Helsinki. That's a ferry route I'd like to take. Right, we're now in Finland. And we have 3 hours to travel, well 19 hours to do the job. We don't need a break. Because 66 hours, that has got us our weekly rest. Coming from Scooty Hobbies, which is not too far away from you, Supertramp, it's in Kirkcaldy. St. Clair Street, Kirkcaldy. I've got a 47 coming, although it's not a 47 7. So I will need to have it weathered and detailed. Turn it into a 47-7. that to hold my push-pull set, for now at least. Me 5 circular and my E657 will be detracked for now. Because I need the sidings for me Intercity 31 and my Class 90. My second sleeper train. So I'm going to have 2 sleeper trains. The other one is just going to have 7 coaches, but not going to be a DBT set. DRS68 with the ScotRail respray, that's staying on the track. Next be Northlink and my Voyager. Well, at some point I'm going to need to lift up one of my fiddle yards completely and add a couple more lines to it, another line to it, to get this run done. As we number one done, then Finland to Sweden, Sweden to Norway, Norway back home. If it turns out that the run to Norway I can only get one to somewhere like Bergen, that's not really a problem, because I can then hop on the ferry and sail back. Festival of Railway Modelling. Just farted and woke the cat up. But she does not look happy. Ew. So that's the first one done. Almost done to Reno Logistics in Kotka. Now to see if we can get a job to Sweden. Next week, it's a bit early talking about next week's stream. I think I'm going to be driving around. I've decided I'm going to be driving. I think I'm going to drive around France next week. Right, we'll stick it there. That's there to a point there. So let's just quickly eye out where we've got to be. Bay 5. Bit of a dog leg to get in there. So we'll trouble with these, blindside, you completely cannot see where the trailer is, or even which way it's actually pointing. Just check something. We're almost in. We're almost in. Straight. Okay, 257 kilometers. Right, let's see what we have got coming out of Kotka. Faroe Islands, Visby. Well, that takes us all the way up there. That's kind of not where I want to go. So we'll take Visby now. This is our Sweden job. And it is some young seedlings. 2 tons of seedlings. Oh, come on. Why do you have to put me on a different dock to load? Really, SCS? You know, any normal place, I would load up at dock 5. I wouldn't need to move to dock 4. Right, okay, so we now load now. That was going to take us to Sweden and the land of Arma and IKEA. Oh, Roxette. Turbo, but no, that's just missing chocolate bar. Right. So this is going to be more or less relatively straightforward. It's going to be an overland run to Naantali, then across to the water to Sweden, down towards Nysham and across to Visby. For me, there's also something new on the YouTube horizon. Nick Zedner is doing a new geology series. Yay! There's more stuff I can bloody binge watch. And the A to Z of Alaskan geology. That is going to be an interesting one. Shouldn't take us long to get across to Naantali in Finland. It'll take us up towards Turku. Then we're on a ferry to Kapellskär. But I will need some fuel on the way out there. Now, one thing I've read in the news is that the American Department of Homeland Security have decided to basically, if you've got a foreign domiciled CDL, you can't drive in America. Well, that's going to cause problems with international trade, because a Canadian guy won't be able to drive in the United States, which means quietly Canadian firms are going to stop exporting to the United States. Same goes for Mexico. Policies like that. Yeah, we don't want any foreign truckers driving in our country. They sound like they're doing the right thing, because they are worried about driving standards. Now, over here, where I'm in the UK, we have got drivers from Norway, Iceland, the European Union, and places like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Yeah, I have seen Uzbekistani trucks in the UK. They're a long way from home. And the thing is, it will stop them driving in if we adopted a similar policy, that would stop all foreign trucks coming over here. More work for UK drivers. But unless that trailer is owned by a company in the UK, like, or it's actual conglomerate like DFDS, Maersk, DHL, DSV and the likes, a foreign company will not want that truck being used by other people around the UK. The same thing will apply to Canadian companies. They won't want their trailers being pulled by Americans because of a slight matter of insurance. Unless, of course, that company is a cross-border company, to which then it doesn't really matter. And if it's a perishable produce like food, they won't want it taken, put into a refrigerated trailer, shipped to a border, transshipped, moved on again. that's gonna fuck up US continental trade. Not the smartest move. Because a container can't carry as much as a 53-foot driver. Because if you load your trailer, which typically you've got £80,000, so typically you'll have £40,000 worth of cargo. If you were to load that £40,000, which is about 20 tons, into a shipping container, the container itself weighs about £6,500. So that makes your cargo now £46,000. You're going to be overweight. They've really not thought about this. Every time, I mean, if you were to then have a load of produce, you have to move it from cross border, you're going to have to stick it on the railways. That's going to slow it down. The idea of putting something on a truck is door-to-door convenience. It's loaded at the shipper, which might be a farm in Ontario, and it's delivered to a receiver in the United States. It takes about 3 days on average. Something by road, rail, road, you're gonna add time. And if you are an auto manufacturer, tariffs aside, your production line is dependent on things being on a certain schedule. Swapping things from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle to vehicle, truck to train, train to truck, it's going to throw that schedule completely out the window. Work in the logistics industry. can see that companies which rely on production lines constantly moving. We had this problem with BMW Mini at Oxford, with supply lines being interrupted. They were closing down the production line. Paper mills using vast quantities of lumber to convert into paper. They're going to have to keep shutting down because obviously their raw material supply will be interrupted. Oh, and what's all this in the news about restarting nuclear weapons testing? The only country I know that's been recently doing nuclear weapons testing is North Korea. Little rocket man, keep your gun. That has got, does he really intend on going to somewhere like the Nevada desert or Puerto Rico or Thule Air Force Base in Greenland? And does this thing work? There are test ban treaties. That's why nobody, not even Russia, have set off nuclear warheads. But yeah, treaties. And DPD. He doesn't understand the meaning of treaty obligations. He is living in the 1950s. And when you have dementia, you tend to go back to regress back to your childhood. Back in the 1950s, we were setting up nuclear weapons to see if they worked. Not just firing off the delivery device. No. Actually physically going to a quiet part of the South Pacific and turning the beach into glass. off now to Kapellskär, because we're actually going down to there, down to Visby. So we got a ferry now down to Nyasham, then a quick hop over to Visby. So this is our first return run within the European Union. No customs check because it's EU movement. Fuel stop. It looks like no fuel there. Yeah, there's fuel there. 152 kilometers away. I don't think there's any there. No. Any down there? No. Marina? No. No fuel there. Yeah, it looks like our nearest fuel is about 152 kilometers on the way down to Nyasham. I think we've got just enough fuel to get there. About to enter a section of divided highway. Visby. Wow, that much. Got 4 viewers. Plus my stream monitor. We'll see if we can get a job down towards Bergen. We might be lucky. We might actually get one that takes us straight back to Iceland. Being 4.2 meters high, we can't really go into Denmark. So it's got to be a case of straight across to Kristiansand, Stavanger, or Bergen. Outskirts of Stockholm, down by where the big Dome Theatre is. Yeah, that is a big nothing there. It's actually like a concert venue, I think it is. And when a few years ago, when they held the Eurovision Song Contest in Stockholm, Sweden, well, that's where they held it. Here we are. I think this is where we get fuel. We have made it to the fuel point. Almost. one here because my fuel tank is on the other side of the vehicle. Quick check my Discord. To catch the ferry to Nasham, to Visby. Imagine living in one of these houses. All the bloody ferry traffic. No thanks. Bugger that. Okay, and there we are. Visby, it's only a short 3-hour crossing. 3 hours, 15 minutes. Boom! Right, welcome to Visby. Right, I'm going to quickly nip downstairs and make myself a cup of coffee. We've got 21 hours for this. We've got 99 kilometres to drive. So we'll just have a quick gander at the cargo market and see what's coming out of Visby. Poland, Uppsala, Kristiansand, Bodo, that's wrong part of Norway. Trondheim, again, that's really the wrong part of Norway. Gong, Jönköping. Jönköping takes us a little bit closer to where we've got to go, same with Kalmar. Oslo, that takes us the wrong part. Kalmar, Trondheim, Dortmund, Oulu, Finland. That's taken us back to where we came from. Södertälje, nothing. That's what we all Scania parts. Soderham, McDonald's. That's going the wrong way. Peskov, Alta, Kazakhstan, Chelyabinsk, Russia. That's in Siberia. So we might have to do a bit of an internal run around Sweden. So try and get one back to Norway. Then hopefully over to Finland. Because we got Oslo is there. Was there an Oslo one? Did I see Oslo? Trondheim is there. That's the Helsinki ferry up to there. Lillehammer. That's taking us back to where we came from. We can't go back, we can only go forwards. Bodo takes us really a bit too far. So we might have to take a rest period. Anyway, I'm just going to get myself a drink. So I'll put the music on for you, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Back to the microphone. Yeah, I'm back, as you can tell. Brakes off. Well, let's get the last bit of this run out of the way. Think I should have gone up there. Oops. Spin around. I was also listening on Radio 4 to something called a play. It was called Murder in Ireland. Now we're on Visby. Ireland is there. That's Ireland. And although it's a was off the coast of Sweden, is administered strangely enough by Finland. Very interesting play. All these dark Norway Scandinavian crime dramas. To here, we'll get this load delivered, and then I'll see if it resets the economy, and I'll take a break. See if that refreshes the jobs. those yellow X's, they hurt when you drive into them. Bang! You kind of stop rather abruptly. Want to be coming down here and meet up with another bloody double type outfit. There's not really a lot of room on this road. It's a little narrow. That car's been there so long, my streets are great through. Where does it want us to load up, unload? It wants us down there. Right, 613. Let's see what we got. Have we got anything now going back towards Iceland? The answer is no. So we can cancel that. Yep, 2 nights in a row, Jimmy. Because yesterday I'd my car going for its MOT, so I'd arranged not to go out anywhere. So I thought, right, I'm not going out anywhere. It's Halla Scream, so fuck it, I'll do a stream. So now we've just got to have a look to see what's on Frisbee, Uppsala, Uppsala. No, not really. Nothing going to there. Trondheim in Norway. It's going to the wrong part of Norway. I want me sort of like this area of Norway. Or something that'll take us. My sound is pretty low. What's that? Okay, let's just double check that. It shouldn't be that low. Like, how low? Let's open my volume mixer. That's right up. Yeah, that's interesting because it's pushing out quite high on my thing. Let's have a look at the properties on that. See if I can. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. That's yeah, because that's saying it's not even peaking very high. which is weird. Device properties, I'll click on that. Right, okay. Right, how's that sound now? Okay, I'll run at that. I've gone into my Windows settings. It was because it's a brand new microphone, and it was set at default to like 21%. I'm like, what the fuck? 100. Right, let's go. Let's go find somewhere I can park up and have a short break. There's a hotel there. Because the proof of the pudding is when I'm driving. Yeah, I'll need to keep an eye on that. Because the speakers of my old Arctis 5s fell apart. You know, all the rubber that goes around the actual speaker, that cushions your ears, that fell off. So we'll see if we can get wait, that was me not looking where I'm going. That's looking at the screen and not where I'm driving. My fault. We might have to obviously do this over two streaming sessions. So the next streaming session will be I can't find a job towards Bergen, that area. Because once I get to Bergen, I can just take the ferry back to Iceland. I'm sure the locals will like a nice bit of open pipe sound. Yeah. I've done one or two to get the Halloween Boogaloo, but that's it. It's not really a snazzy paint job. And there's our rest area. Can I even fit in here? Ah! There it is, that's where I gotta go. Right. Oh yeah. But whoever designed the Badenoch castle thing must have had the words with the guy who did the fucking Pro Mods maze in Longyearbyen. Jesus Christ. That thing is just absolutely sadistic. I mean, have you ever done that maze? Right, Wisby, what have we got? Uppsala, Sundsvall, Nottingham from there. Nisham. Visby, Arborough, Söderholm. Oslo. Four hours, 3 minutes. We ain't got time to get there. We won't make that one. So. Yeah, it's not something you want to do with a trailer as well. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head back up to Stockholm. So quick travel to Stockholm. Navigation, quick travel, and Stockholm there. We'll see if we can get it out of Stockholm. There was a job in Oslo, but we wouldn't have made it, so let's see what we can get. Navigation, jobs, cargo market. Libya, Soderham. Oh, we have got it. We could do that one. It'll take us to Norway. Oh, Bergen. I'll take that one. That takes us straight to Bergen, Polaris lines. When I first started playing this game, you could actually get to here, because this was just flat land, and yeah, there was a collision wall down there, there's a collision wall down there, but you could get over this curb. Now look what they've gone and done. They've only gone and landscaped the private parts. So you can't get in there now with all those bloody trees. Right, so and on the Badenoch Castle, Bracken region, whatever you fucking call it, they give you this map to go round. But what they've done, the official way that they tell you to go, they blocked it off with a bloody tree stump. Like, SCS, you fucking twat! Why? I mean, that's just cruel. I mean, if we had a bloody truck with like rock crawling capability, yeah, not a problem. But no, my truck just would not get over it. I mean, somebody must have thought it was funny. Right. So this is going to be the leg that takes us back. And basically it's going to be down towards Södertälje, up towards the border, Fuck the red light. However, there is also something good news coming out of SCS. Two things. One, they're going to be redoing the United Kingdom. About fucking time. Two, we're getting the Emerald Isle. We are. We're getting Ireland. And for American Truck Simulator, we are getting British Columbia at some point. Probably some point next year. Or maybe the year after. Or maybe the year after that. What I might do next couple of days, I think, is put Pro Mods Alaska back on to American Truck with the road connection. Yeah. I mean, we're getting Iceland. We're getting... So basically what... the next DLC we're getting is going to be... I think it's going to be this area. Which will be taking over from Pro Mods. Now, down here you've got the Road of the Atlantic. Which I think's that there. But around here, you've got the Trollstigen. The Trollstigen is a Norwegian mountain road. And it's like, go so far 180 degrees, up a bit more, 180 degrees, up a bit more, over a hill, 180 degrees, 180 degrees, 180 degrees. Lots of switchbacks. An absolutely gorgeous mountain pass. We are also then, after that, we are getting Iceland, which I can't wait for. I want to see exactly how SCS have redone Iceland. What they put in, what they've omitted, in compared to the Pro Mods version. And then we get the United Kingdom and Ireland as two separate entities, which I'm kind of looking forward to. Because we finally got to get the M25. Now, when they're going to rework the United Kingdom in one foul swoop, I don't know. They might do it like they did with Germany. A little bit here, a little bit there. But I really hope they don't do what they did with Spain. Or just slap a load of motorways at them. As DLC, map DLCs went, Spain was a bit of a letdown. They missed off Gibraltar, and everything was motorway. Now, Greece, on the other hand, let's just go down here, was actually pretty good. Because you've got motorways, but you've got a nice, when you get into the towns, they really are nicely detailed. Plus, you have got a good amount of secondary roads. I think after the stream is done, I'm going to drive that road. That just looks gorgeous. Yeah. Roads are ones I would like to put in when they do the UK. For a start off, there's a lovely road that goes up sort of this area off the A9. Takes from Helmsdale, goes straight up there. There's a couple of really lovely roads in this area. You've got the Woodhead Pass down here. You've got the A5, which goes sort of this way. You've got the A63 here, which links up with the M62. Goes there. I'd like them to put that in, so we can come out of Hull and go one motorway straight to Liverpool. Because that road is a lovely road. Takes you out, you can go from there straight to Hull and straight up the coast towards Flamborough Head and beyond. Let's go back a few frames. That green car that came across from the slip road joined the motorway and just poof, gone. Just suddenly rapidly just despawned in front of you, like. Right, come on. We'll have that. Poof, gone. Bye. See ya. Now, I would also like pro mods to move. Now that we've got the Great Steppe, kind of expand on the Great Steppe. So we've got like more integration with the road to Asia. I need to put that back on actually. But then a new map taking us down across the Mediterranean. Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, and further south. So that if we really wanted to, we could start a job up in Nordkap and go down to Johannesburg. Ferry across the Straits of Gibraltar, but then all the way down the Atlantic coast, Morocco, down into Central and Southern Africa. That would be nice. It'll be a long game. I mean, it took nearly 5 hours for me to go from Siberia through Kazakhstan into Georgia. Oh, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Greece, then Italy. Then obviously up into Europe to get back to Iceland. Going from the Nordkap, very top of Norway, down, all the way down Norway, into Denmark, through Denmark into Holland, down into France, down into Spain, down into Morocco, then down the African coast. Let's just pause that for a second. Let's go to Google Maps. Google Maps, Google Maps, Google Maps. Right. Just zoom out. Right. Yeah. So here we are. A run starting you there, all the way down to Norway, Sweden and Norway. Yeah. To Copenhagen, into Denmark, into Germany, into Holland, Belgium, France, France into Spain, down towards the Straits of Gibraltar, into Morocco, into Western Sahara, down this road here, into Mauritania, into Senegal, the Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, with a visit to Lake Nyos, into Gabon, into Congo, across the DPR Congo, into Angola, Namibia, and into South Africa, ending your journey in Cape Town. Yeah. Putting Africa down as a continent of expandable map. Okay, it's not Europe, but neither Russia. Russia is Russia. It's part of the European continent, but it's not Europe. It's not the EU. And everybody seems to kind of say, when you see European Truck Simulator, and they give us Turkey and Russia in a couple of DLCs, people are like, but it's not Europe. It's continental Europe. You can still get to it by road. And there are ferry services between Spain, Morocco, and France and Algeria. Yeah, so, they got a ferry to Alicante and the ferry up to, where does this one go? Marseille. And some of the roads out here let's just drop you there, say. Yeah. A lot of the African roads will be like that. And to be honest, I think that would be an enjoyable gaming session. It will be really enjoyable to drive down through Africa. I mean, there was a map mod that did give you a bit of Morocco and a bit of Libya. And even if they did, say, SCS were to do Africa, like they're doing with the United States, yeah, you buy Morocco as a DLC, then you buy Egypt as a DLC. Because it'd be far too big to do it as one standard map. I mean, they probably wouldn't put like Sudan down, because at the moment Sudan is not a safe place to be. And that's putting it mildly. It will be interesting because a lot of Africa, once you get outside the more wealthy countries like Egypt and South Africa, there's not many motorways. In some parts of Africa, the main road between the capital city and the second city which is their sort of M6, you're going to be lucky if it's got tarmac. I mean, Spike here would need to have a bigger hard drive. I mean, what I'll probably do is I will completely replace Spike. Other places that we can put DLC, you know, probably would actually be Asia, because there is a route that you can go. Obviously, you need to make sure that your visa paperwork is in order, but you can go by road from Portugal to the North Korean border. If you've got the right permits, you can probably drive all the way down to Seoul. Providing you got the permits and all that. Because you can go by road to China and North Korea. And there are roads that go up to the border areas from both sides in North and South Korea. And there used to be special economic zones in North Korea between North and South Korea, when relations between the two Koreas were a little bit warmer than what they are now. From China, you've got the ability to go by road to Bangkok. Or you can get to China from Russia by road. That was a couple of years ago, before Ukraine situation kicked off. A truck with a cargo on was driven from China by a Chinese driver across Russia and delivered in Poland. And there's a European truck show, and there's a guy there from China with a Scania. He'd driven it across Russia into Europe. So yeah, there's no reason why we can't have non-European DLCs in Euro Truck Simulator. Because as far as I'm concerned, the Euro is simply referring to the brands of truck that we've got. Scania, MAN, Iveco, DAF, Mercedes, Volvo, and what's the other one? Scania and Volvo, Iveco, DAF, Merco, MAN. Am I missing the brand? Yeah, all of these. Yeah. Oh yeah, Renault. Obviously that's France. Don't quite know where Renault trucks are based. I think it might be Bourges or something like that. Obviously that's Sonatal. Milan, I think they are. Nuremberg and Augsburg. Obviously Stuttgart, Eindhoven, Gothenburg. Are we ever likely to see the likes of UAZ, Uralaz, Maz, Kamaz in Euro Truck Simulator 2? Doubtful. Mainly because of the Ukraine situation. Kamaz is Belarus. I mean, I would like to see Ikari and Buzzbig come to ETS2 as official DLCs. I'd like to see combinations like this as official content. So I can take this combination into TMP. I would like to see the options where you can click on, done as a tick box, where you can either have it as, like we are now, permanent summer, or we can have dynamic. So, for example, now that the clocks have gone back, we're driving through Norway now. We just entered Norway. It could be dark. And if you're up in somewhere like Honigsvag, it doesn't get light between as winter gets on. Microsoft Flight Sim, I think. So I'm not 100% certain on this. I might be wrong. You're having the game, the weather that you see in game is dependent on the weather that is at a certain point. So if, for example, you fly from BHX on a Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's dry, and you take a flight to Charles de Gaulle, CDG, at the time you take off it is dry, but on the real Charles de Gaulle airport it starts to rain. As a result of this, your game at Charles de Gaulle starts to rain. Because the weather it's portraying at the location is dependent on the weather at its real world analog. Because the thing is with Microsoft Flight Sim, you download the game, you don't download the map, from what I've heard, because the map is a one-to-one scale map of the fucking planet that we're on. So if a route takes you 9 hours to fly in real life, MCR to ATL for example, Manchester to Atlanta, it takes you 9 hours in Microsoft Flight Sim. So with that, the dynamic weather, you can have it where if it's raining now in Bergen, it's raining. But if the rain in Bergen turns to snow, your game, it stops raining and the rain in the game turns to snow. Now I do know that Reykjavik right now is under a couple of feet of snow. Reykjavik is a white land. Why can't we have that in the game? Why can we not have that in ETS 2? With optional physics. 2,000 Icelandic kroner has been paid. Yeah, because obviously it's a simulator game, the options are endless as to what we can do with it. I mean, when the game was first brought out, we had bus stations in the game as discoverable areas. Now they're bringing in buses as official DLC. ETS 2 has come full circle. Because when this SCS, they wrote the game up, and what I've heard or what I've read, the plan was, as a backup game, to have European Coach Simulator. If ETS 2 didn't take off. So they've done all this work for a coach simulator, but they never used it. And with Project Coaches, now they can. And I actually look forward to actually the coach DLCs. I might actually get a coach and with get some Z-Mod sound pack or something like that. And yeah, why not? Driving a Volvo coach? I'll have a 750 horsepower 16 litre engine. Oh, I'm driving a Scania coach. I'll have 1125 horsepower V8 in a bus. Why not? Open pipes on the bus. I'll keep the passengers happy. Driver, can you put the bus around about 1500 revs, please? Just give me a massage. Now, I don't know what the missions are going to be like with the coaches, because obviously it hasn't been fully released yet. But I really do hope they improve the passenger animation, because right now, when you see a person walking down the street, there's a song lyric there, but let's not go there. They're walking down like they got bloody P virus and or was it T virus? As a Resident Evil. Brains. Brains. They skulk around like fucking zombies. know, I used to play APB Reloaded. I've still got the game on my Steam account. And one of the things that you could do, obviously, if you're a criminal, you can hijack a car for cash. And what you'd do, you'd come up, you shoot at the car will stop, go outside, press the F key, you would pull the driver out of the car, beat the living crap out of them, and make off with their car. And the AI pedestrians, I mean, you start shooting him, and they would just flee. You're like, what? Is that a gun? No, but this is. And but their movement animation was a little bit more fluid than the zombie animation that we have in this. I mean, what is when you're backing up to somewhere, you see a pedestrian come out of North Foods, walk across the car park and walk through your fucking trailer. Yeah. Whereas normally you'd think that a pedestrian would sit and wait for you to move your truck out of the way, because they obviously don't want to get run over. Well, nowadays, yeah, they sit there. The pedestrian animation should be, yeah, somebody head down on their phone, not giving a fuck where they're going, and just walk right behind you with their head pointing at the mobile phone. That should be the correct pedestrian animation, because that's all people do these days. I mean, I did some work for a company called London Licensed Wholesale Company. I was a bottle humper. Wasn't driving the truck, I didn't have a class 2 at that point, and I was there just to help the work with the driver to unload the beers, because we were delivering like to pubs, to off licenses, to restaurants, and everything we delivered was beer, whiskey, spirits. And last drop of the day was in Nottingham. It was a nightclub. And we had to park the truck on the pavement. And there was a young girl, about 22, 23 years old, completely and utterly oblivious to the 26-ton truck, manoeuvring itself onto the pavement so we could get to the drop hatch. She had no idea we were there. We got within about a foot of her before she walked off. Didn't even flinch. Probably had no idea that was a 26-ton Mercedes trying to manoeuvre. I mean, if you are going to use a skulking zombie walking animation, at least give that particular person a can of cider. You know, because he's walking down like he's absolutely drunk. Wait, thunderstorm. I mean, one thing you don't see in this game, cyclists. They probably are about. I mean, in America you see the odd motorcyclist driving around. You don't see many in the Euro truck. I mean, the scooters are knocking about because you can see them dotted about Italy. Right. I mean, there's another thing as well they could also do is when you pull up at the rest area, you're given 3 options. No, you can have say 5 options. Number 1 will be a 15-minute break. Number 2 will be a 30-minute break. And if you have a 15-minute break, what's it? Yeah, that will disappear when you next go to have a break until you have your 30. Or option 3 will be a 45-minute break. So after 4.5 hours driving, you can pull up and have a 45-minute break. Option 4 will be your daily rest. 11 hours. Option 5 will be your weekly rest of 45 hours. So you can now then do your driving to European tachograph regulations. If that's how you... Because there are people who play this game where they try to drive to the hours of service. I don't. I have enough of that crap at work. I tend to drive sort of a little bit of arcade style. I'll turn traffic offences off and I'll turn fatigue simulator off. But there are people who drive that on. There are people in VTCs who their VTC probably says, do not turn traffic offences off. Yep. And at Port Lincoln, I don't do that. All I want off my my drivers, and if you want to work for me, you can do. It's on the Discord. It's not Discord, sorry, it's on Trucksbook. Just look us up, Port Lincoln Trucking, and come and join us. Yeah. All I ask for drivers to do is 1,000 kilometres over across the two platforms. So if you've got ATS, 1,000 kilometres in ATS will do just fine. If you've only got ETS, 1,000 kilometres on Eurotruck. If you've got both, you can do 500 in one, 500 in the other, 600 in one, 400 in the other. Or do it all in one. Or simply do 999 kilometres in one game, 1 kilometre in the other game. I don't care how you do your 1,000 kilometres. I just want you to stay in real miles. Yeah. Apart from that, I'm not fussy on how you play it. Yeah. Whether you do play total real sim or arcade style, I don't care, because it's being done on your computer. You're doing it on your computer. I cannot dictate what you do on how you play your game. If you want to turn all your traffic off and just drive it with just you on the map, ignoring all traffic lights and traffic regulations, then that's how you want to play it. Bit boring playing it that way, if you ask me. When they bring, when they do finally bring the bus DLC out, I will have a look to see if the Trucksbook will be adapted so that you can take a job. Yeah, you're going down from, say, Milan to Rome, cargo, passengers. cargo. Crotchety old bastards. I mean, I can't use a trailer mod now because it doesn't work. But I used to have a trailer mod on an American Truck Simulator where the delivery Bad Dragon sex toys was a cargo put in there by the mod designer. And there was actually a Bad Dragon skin for the trailer. I was like, what the fuck? Husky? Really? What was going through his mind, I don't know. Open pipes in a tunnel. I so want to do that down the Mersey tunnel. I'm not allowed to. It says no air horns. Oh. Well, that was warm. Fucking hellfire. I've already got to go to Norway. Oh, still got 134 kilometres to go. We're nearly outside Norway, Bergen anyway now, so. There's a couple more tunnels we have to go through to get to Bergen. Although that was the last toll station on the way here. You know, I would also like to see as well when, if they ever bring in combinations like this, the ability to take a load without taking a trailer. If you've got a rigid truck like this, obviously if you've got a tractor unit, you've got to have a trailer. But something like this, where we've got the ability to have a run it as a rigid, would be nice if we can have class 2 cargoes, you know, as opposed to class 1. I'd also like to see 7.5 tonners come into the game. You know, some of the smaller rigids. When you start your trucking career, you don't get a trailer. You just get, you know, your first couple of levels, say levels 1 through say 1 through 10 or 1 through 20, you just have a rigid, no trailer. In America, it's a little bit different because they don't really use straight trucks like we do. Well, here we are, this is the outskirts of Bergen. I think there's one more tunnel to go through. You know, I'd like to see Kalsa bull bars as a DLC. Oh, the wrong, there's one more tunnel. What's this one? This tunnel as well. Yeah, I think there is actually another tunnel just up ahead. Yeah, there is. Here he is. One thing as well that they've given us a node on the bed. What they should have done is put slots on that, or given like a blanket option, because in a truck like this, I mean, you'd be out in it for 2, 3, 4 days at a time. It'll get very cold on that bed. You got no duvet. You want a couple of pillars at one end, and you want a duvet on there as well. Can we have that option, please, SCS, to make the truck seem more lived in? Because a tramper will live in his truck for a full week at a time. Monday morning till Friday night, he's in the truck. And if he's doing a run down to southern Italy from northern Scotland, for example, he could be in his truck for 2 weeks. You know, he leaves on Monday. You know, 5 days to get down there, 5 days to get back. that bed will, you know, that cab will be like a small apartment. Same with American Truck Sim. You know, typical trucker in the American Truck Sim will, you know, in America, will be driving for several fucking weeks. Right, we'll deliver this. That's got us to Bergen, and from here it's just a ferry to the Faroe Islands and then ferry over to Iceland. So we can actually end the stream here because there's literally 2 ferries to get back. So that's it. I'm done for the week. I will see you all be well, next week. Take care, guys, and have a wonderful week.